But then as I look at this leaf, the highlight's really hitting the bottom part here, and it's a little bit darker on the top half of this leaf. So I'll go ahead and actually lay in this value on the upper part of this leaf. And maybe add some of what's happening with the veining on the leaf. Here it's a little bit darker towards this top half of the leaf. This one is, for the most part, a little bit lighter than the leaf down here, but those actual veins are pretty pronounced and much darker, right? So draw those, gonna draw those in. And I'm using pretty quick, deliberate strokes, so I'm trying not to lay down too much marker at any one time, because I don't necessarily want things to bleed, right? Because that can become an issue. Okay, so now I'm getting up to my 50%. I'm going to darken in again our really dark shadows. Okay, and I'm gonna eventually go even darker, but I'm just kind of easing myself into it because I don't want, it's really hard to start out really dark, right? And go really, really black right off the bat. Okay. So now I'm going to, because the sheet of the paper is white and the leaves have a value, they don't have that 0 value. I'm gonna go ahead and take my 10% again and just go ahead and actually go over the whole leaf with that 10%. So I'm creating that base coat that I'm always talking about, right? And I'm going to grab my 70%, wherever that is. Okay. Fill in my shadow some more, because I'm building that value. And like I said, I'm just drawing a little vignette of this, but I want you guys to draw the whole thing. Okay. And those veins within the leaf itself are pretty dark, so I can actually take the tip of the sharp edge of this, right, and actually draw those in. And again, these don't have to be perfect because it's a leaf, right? And it's going to read like a leaf, really, no matter how I do this, right? And you can use this part of the marker if you want. I don't generally use that very often, but you certainly can do that. again, kind of using quick strokes so I'm not laying down too much pigment or marker, right? Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my darkest value and really fill in these shadows. Okay. Don't be afraid to identify the different values and really go dark when you need to, because that's what's going to make the other portions of your drawing or your rendering really pop off the page. Okay, so I've got basic gray base layer, right? So now what I want to do is I'm actually going to take my yellow, because there's some yellow undertones on these leaves, and I'm going to, actually everywhere I have gray, is just go ahead and put down this yellow on top to create this kind of this warm base layer on top of the gray. And this yellow will end up translating through the green to get some of those nice highlights. As you can see, I'm not filling in everything. You know, I still want to have dimension, and having some of the white sheet come through the gray is just going to help give this leaf some dimension. With your practice sheet, go ahead and see how, you know, your lime green kind of looks on top of the yellow. Play around with how, you know, how different line marks may work and different levels of marker may work with one another, okay, before you actually commit to the leaf itself. Okay, so now once I've laid down my cream, I'm going to get my lime green, okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over and kind of put a coat of green down on everything, okay. This particular leaf happens to be in the background, so it's going to be pretty dark. So I might go over this a couple times. This one down here as well. But these ones on top, these two, are going to have a lot more, they're going to have a lot lighter areas, okay? So as I lay down this coat of green, I'm going to try to follow the kind of the contour of the leaf as I lay this down. And then as my strokes kind of overlap, that just kind of reinforces the actual shape of the leaf, okay? And it's a little bit darker towards the base of the leaf, or where the stem would actually be. So I'm going to do a couple more coats right there, okay? And moving on to this leaf, kind of following again the contour of the leaf, fill this in. The top portion of the leaf is a little bit darker, so I can go, as I'm laying down this layer, I can go a little bit darker. I can put a few more coats on there. And then on the bottom half, we lay down a little bit lighter stroke, and don't go over it as many times because you do have that contrast from the top of the leaf to the bottom. And as it